So I have a question around that. Like personal mission. I think when people think about personal mission, they think it needs to be some big, grandiose thing about changing the world, saving puppies, cleaning up all the oceans, all microplastics are gone. And I feel that is probably the wrong way to think about a personal mission. Um,
Yeah,
but I'd like
it's
to
really
get your
simple to
take on it.
reframe it.
Yeah.
When you can reframe it in a very simple way, is is to think about your job.
Mhm.
Let's say, I don't know, let's say you work for a local government and your job is to manage communication with local residents and put out a newsletter or something. And you could say that's your job. Now, if you were to bump into a stranger or down in a restaurant or whatever, and they said, "What do you do?" You'd probably say, "Oh, I'm a communications manager at the local council." That's not enough. That's
Mhm.
not enough to create the brilliant future you need. You need to look at it beyond that. And actually, what you're doing is by communicating with local residents and giving them information, you're creating a sense of wellness for those people. You're encouraging people to create a better citizenship, better neighborhood where they live. You're doing a load of things. So we don't need to sort of imagine what they might be. But your personal mission is what you do to earn your success in the service of others. What is it that is the really is the key to happiness in life, and it's the fuel most important that you need to keep going and to keep wanting to do it again and again and again. And so your personal mission, if you're that council worker or whatever it is, it would be something much more real. And if you think about it, yeah, if you do a good job, somebody chooses to live in that area, they can buy affordable housing, they can maybe get a job, they can get married, have kids, adopt kids. And actually your personal mission could be something like
Mhm.
I make happy families, which has got nothing to do with sending out a newsletter, but it's incredibly motivating. It's a reason to get out of bed on a Monday morning, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So, for those listening who are struggling with finding a mission in
Mm.
their job, whatever their job might be, right? It could even be like I'm a mom or dad staying at home, taking care of my kids. I'm in an entry level job, stapling, stapling things, or I could be an executive and getting hit from left, right, and center with zero appreciation from individuals. How do they start discovering their personal mission?
Well, think about what would happen if you didn't do your job to the best of your ability? If you got lazy and you just cruised through life and you didn't do that job. Let's take it's a bit of a cliche, I know, but let's think of someone who's maybe a cleaner and they go into a local school and they clean up the classrooms. You could think my job is to vacuum, put things away, tidy it up so it's ready for school the next day. And you can do that for the rest of your life and think that's all you do. No, you need to stop and say, what would happen if I don't do this? And realize that, oh,
Mm.
the teacher would come in, it would be chaos. The kids wouldn't have wouldn't have safe spaces to sit. Somebody might get sick because the room wasn't clean. And suddenly you realize that you are important. You're doing more than just putting things away. You're creating opportunity. And then say, okay, but what happens because I do a good job? And you realize, kids get a great education. Maybe I'm creating the next generation, the next astronaut. I don't know what they'll go on to become. Teachers are going to have a good day. They're going to go home and they're going to leave on time because they can go and spend time with their family. That's
Mhm.
what you do. And that's what motivates you to pick things off the floor and clean the floor and do that job
Yeah.
again and again.